Aloha bitches. We're here in Hawaii with a few faces you might recognize from the YouTube machine. We got Pierre T. Lambert, who you're supposed to whisper his last name. This week on Pierre in the Wilderness, we photograph a tree.
Colors is beautiful. Look at it. This is like kind of a reddish.
What's it taste
green.
like? Jason Bong. We got Donna.
Hey.
And a very exciting announcement went up this morning, the Nikon Z9. And if you want the full specs, the full Marshall just fell over. And if you want the full specs, head over to the Nikon announcement. What I'm here to kind of wrap up for you are a few of the specs that I am personally the most interested with. Number one, the mechanical shutter is gone. It is.
Way overexposed.
This is overexposed?
This is completely gone.
Number one, the mechanical shutter. It's gone. Electronic shutter only. What a time to be alive. What this essentially means is that all of a sudden now, if you're shooting a lens like a 1.2 or a 1.4, or you stepped up to that knocked, and now you can shoot them wide open really in any lighting conditions, which is amazing. So you're out here, you're doing a portrait session on the beach, backlit, you want to shoot everything at 1.2, 0.95, whatever it might be, you have that ability now. I am personally quite interested to try this camera for that reason. The thing that everyone is going to be the most interested in is the autofocus. Should we go somewhere else? From the test images that I have seen, I will have my hands on an actual unit on Saturday. So if you have any questions about this Z9, please put them in the comments below. When it comes to autofocus, the demonstration that I have been given, it seems remarkably better than the Z6 II, which in my opinion was still a great autofocus system. It took a little bit of manual input on the user side from time to time, but quite honestly, it did a really, really good job. I'm very interested to see how the Z9 stacks up against the competitors. I also say Z because I'm from Canada. We're in Hawaii, but Canadian, Z. That's, I would say, my number one YouTube comment is why you say Z. Another very exciting thing, there is no longer a record limit for your videos. You can also do some insane resolutions such as 8K, and in a future firmware update there will be basically you can do everything that you could do through an Atomos on the Z6 II or Z7 II, but now it just does it all internally with no record limit. Another cool thing is that there is a dedicated EVF pipeline. Basically what that means is that when you are typically using a mirrorless camera and you're taking photos, even if they're claiming no blackout, they're either kind of looping frames and showing you the same frames that you just saw, or there's maybe a little bit of a lag to kind of cover that blackout. What the Z9 has done is it's now an entirely different pipeline. And basically what that means is that you are actually seeing a true blackout free viewfinder, and especially at a high frame rate, a high megapixel count. And also there's an enhanced, you can do 120 frames in a second. JPEG only, and it's a smaller megapixel, but if you are a sports photographer and you want that exact decisive moment, you can now shoot 120 frames within a single second, which is just absolutely nuts and amazing. There's also light up buttons, which is pretty exciting. It's something that I kind of missed, especially as an event shooter. You photograph a lot in not ideal lighting conditions, so to have the buttons that light up on the back, that's kind of great. In terms of battery life, my Nikon Z6 II, when I bring it to an event, typically I can use one battery if it's a lighter day, pretty much the entire day. I would suspect, this is purely speculation, that a Z9 battery, the new battery, it's a lot larger, will actually last me the entire day, which is, it's nice. It's obviously a bigger, you've seen the previews, it's a bigger body type, and it's not quite as big as the D5 or D6. It's a little bit smaller than that, but still ergonomically lovely, according to the slides that I saw, that I can't show you. And also, it's a stacked sensor. So that means you get more sensors on your sensor. I guess it's only one sensor, but it's stacked, which is great. I'm curious what this means for the Z6 II, Z7 II. Does that mean a new firmware upgrade is coming with new autofocus enhancements? I'm hopeful for that. I know nothing about that, but I am hopeful for that. I know it's something that a lot of people have been requesting on the channel. And yeah, I pick up this Z9 when I get back home to Canada in just a couple of days. So if you have any questions at all, you have some tests that you want me to run, I am happy to read your comments and actually do those tests. One of them that's going to be big for me is hybrid coverage. If I am at a wedding day, I'm doing both photography and video at the same time at a single event, which means I'm switching between photo and video mode very quickly. And the ergonomics of that actually are very important to me. I feel like I'm a very small piece of the market that no one ever cares about, but Nikon's always done an incredible job satisfying me as that hybrid shooter. So yeah, I'm very excited to get my hands on this camera. I'm gonna say it's probably the most anticipated camera. I wasn't expecting them to go full electronic shutter, but it seems like that is the step to the future, that they figured out how to remove the rolling shutter from it and all kinds of other things. So I am personally very, very excited, and I might finally trade up from my, this is a medium format film point and shoot. I might finally trade up to this, to the Z9. We'll see on Saturday. Cheers from Hawaii, and more to come from this trip. Can't talk about what we're doing here yet, but it's nice. You'll find out about this November 15th. Arigato gozaimasu. This is a credit sequence. Watch another video. Buy a shirt if you want.